Hey there, this is Chris Staccato again with another weird, kind of goofy Amiga bars and pipes video. And this one I kind of wanted to show. In the last there was one a while back where I talked about the Arpeggiate tool in bars and pipes, which is this thing here I'm moving around. And I wanted to show because I've been kind of going through some older songs of from this period when I was using bars and pipes writing, and just kind of show how much it influenced my my songwriting, and kind of that it was a central piece for a long time. For a bunch of years, it was a tool that I would use to get ideas that to come up with things that you never would have thought of. That's really what that thing is. And for a long time, bars and pipes was my main sequencer that I used. I mean, before, it was really my first computer-based sequencer that I ever used, where just recording MIDI songs, and then having I really just had a couple of different synthesizers to get sounds out of for the tracks recorded in here to play. And it wasn't until I got a Mac until I could record audio along with, so I could play a guitar and then have a sequencer running. That was Cubase, was the first sequencer that I had on the Mac that could do audio at the same time as MIDI. But even then, even when I first got my first Mac, what I was doing was, and I've found all these setups in bars and pipes in here since getting this machine going, where what I was doing was blowing all my MIDI would come out of the Mac and it would go in. I would set bars and pipes up to do multiple in like this, and so all those tracks would come and go through the bars and pipes architecture or whatever through that sequencer, and then back out to my keyboards. For the sole purpose of being able to use these tools like these, when this is one of the things you get in bars and pipes, is all these, they're like stomp boxes for MIDI. So there's echoes and quantizers and modifiers, all kinds of weird tricks that are brilliant. And there's no that I've found. I mean, I know that Cubase did some stuff where you could modify on the input or on the output, MIDI stuff, but not fun tools like this Arpeggiate thing. I've never found an equivalent of it. So that's why I was using it for a long time. Anyway, so now that I've blabbered on, let's try to see how many of these songs I can get through, kind of showing. And this is the one that I started with last time. And when I did this one, I actually recorded the input from the Arpeggiate into the track. So if I just play this, you can see these little yellow dots. Those little yellow dots are the notes. And if I move farther ahead, you'll see that they get doubled, and there's some other stuff that comes in which we won't hear now. But I can play from the... Oh, some of it plays. So, but that was all started by this thing right here. And if I play on the keyboard right now, it'll play MIDI through that little box. And it's actually playing this other thing too. It's doing the little echo going on. So I'm going to get rid of that just so we can just hear the one thing. And no matter what I play, it's going to play that pattern. So, But if I can play it right, so that one note, one, boink, boink, right? So that's what I'm doing on the keyboard. And if I play two notes, right? So that's kind of that first tune. Let's move to another one now. And because this is what's been fun, is I'm kind of going like, oh yeah, I used it on that. Oh, and I used it on that too. So let's try, this is another tune called 1208, which I know I wrote, like this last one I definitely wrote in the Amiga in Bars and Pipes, and this one I definitely wrote in Cubase on the Mac. Let me see if I can get this is funny because actually it's the same sound. So that's the little pattern that hold on real quick. That's the little pattern that this tool is doing. If I hit one note, and it took me a while, so I was playing the song. Here, let me find the actual mix of it. It is in here. So here's the actual final mix. Right, so all those little belly parts, like to come up with those, this is why I, where this arpeggiate thing is genius. So, and it took me a while to figure out, it's like, okay, that's what it did, but what did I play, If I just start playing stuff, it's weird, so it's the specific triplet against that. I have to go bang, 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 bang. And then, but what was messing me up is there's another one that goes on that's playing like a Celeste kind of sound, which is a similar sound. Yeah, that's playing. So, and that one's different. I go bang, 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 bang. So this is what's been fun, is trying to like rediscover. I mean, unfortunately, all all my Cubase stuff is gone. I can't. I don't have Cubase anymore. I kind of lost my install disk or something way back in 2003 or something. So I can't. I've never been able. I haven't been able to use Cubase properly since then. And I just moved to Pro Tools and never really looked back. And but now I'm going, man, I wish I had those MIDI tracks. Let's find one more. If we could, real quick. We're up on 7, almost 8 minutes. This is a one that's really was a kind of an important song for me when I was growing up. And let's see what this one does. Let's find a different sound for that. 35. Real quick. Yeah. So this one is doing that. Let's open this little guy up. You can see. And let me see if I can remember what the thing was. I found it last night. Here, let me play the song real quick, and maybe that'll help me remember what the part was. Here we go. So it's that repeating madness. So I'm trying to do that from this, which is, it's something like that anyways. So what I'm kind of doing is going dung 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 dung, and then the thing does the rest. So that was pretty crazy, and where that who knows where that stuff comes from? Just kind of playing around and having a good time. Here's another one that I can't figure out. This was like for a lot of these were for video projects, for for who knows what, for some corporate commercial video. Yeah. So here's the mix. So this was like for a bank or something. I don't know. Right, so that's the thing. And now for me to try to recreate that, this is what the arpeggiate is doing, and this is what it sounds like. But I can't figure out yet what I'm supposed to play to make it create that pattern. I don't know what it is, so I got to keep fishing. Anyways, so that's just a kind of a glimpse into my weird past of writing with the Amiga and what the Arpeggiate tool can kind of do. And I hope you liked watching. I don't know. Talk to you later.